Let's be perfectly honest. It's August. You're exhausted, it's hot, and right now, surrendering your garden to the weeds feels like a totally reasonable life choice. But before you lock up the garden shed and call it a year, you need to know a massive secret. You know those picture-perfect, magazine cover spring gardens that make everyone jealous? Yeah, they aren't made in April. They are built right now. While everyone else is taking a break, smart gardeners know that late summer is the ultimate sweet spot. The soil is still warm like a cozy blanket, but the brutal heat is finally backing off. It's the absolute best time for plants to grow bulletproof root systems before winter hits. So, don't put away that trowel just yet. Today, I'm giving you my ultimate cheat sheet, 20 stunning perennials and biennials you absolutely must plant this August if you want a breathtaking, low-maintenance garden next spring. Grab a cold drink, and let's get our hands dirty. 1. Peony. Peonies are the absolute sacred cows of the garden, and if you want them to thrive, dividing and transplanting them happens right now, from mid-August into September. But hear me out, because there is one strict rule you need to carve into your favorite shovel handle. The eyes on the root must be planted exactly 1 to 2 inches below the soil surface. Bury them any deeper than that, and the peony will go on a permanent strike. You'll get a giant, beautiful bush of green leaves, but absolutely zero flowers. Leave them too shallow, and they'll just freeze to death over the winter. Get it right, give them some rich soil, and this spectacular plant will practically outlive you. 2. Delphinium. If you want that dramatic, towering, vertical architecture to make your neighbors stop and stare over the fence, plant young delphiniums right now. When you plant or divide them, remember that they have hollow, straw-like stems. If you cut them back too low, autumn rain will pool inside the stems and rot the crown completely. Give them a sunny spot that is well protected from heavy winds, or those glorious 2-meter-tall flower towers will just snap in half during a summer storm. They are the absolute undisputed kings of the back of the border, especially when planted alongside classic climbing roses or white daisies. Give them rich soil, and they will reward you massively. 3. Foxglove. Bring on that fairy tale woodland magic. If you need a powerful vertical accent for a shady spot where other plants struggle, foxglove is your ultimate answer. Sow the seeds right on the surface of the soil. They actually need sunlight to germinate, so just press them gently into the moist dirt with the flat of your hand. A quick but very serious warning. Every part of this plant is toxic, so don't toss it in your salad, and keep it away from pets and curious toddlers. But plant it in the dappled sunlight alongside lush ferns, delicate astilbes, and giant hostas, it creates pure, breathtaking garden drama that looks like it came straight out of a classic English gardening magazine. 4. Hollyhock. This is the ultimate fence line classic. We are officially bringing the charming grandmother's cottage garden back in style. The golden rule here is simple. Sow the seeds directly, exactly where you want them to live forever. Hollyhocks grow a massive taproot, much like a giant carrot, and they absolutely hate being dug up and transplanted. Just drop a couple of seeds in a spot, lightly cover them, and thin out the weakest ones later. Next year, you'll have gorgeous, vibrant blooms reaching for the sky to hide that ugly chain-link fence. They pair beautifully with phlox and coneflowers, creating a tall, dense backdrop that requires almost zero maintenance once established. 5. Garden phlox. Garden phlox is the main sponsor of our absolute favorite late summer garden fragrances. But over time, the clumps get old and tired, the flowers shrink in size, and the center of the plant gets completely bald and woody. August is the perfect time for a ruthless but necessary rejuvenating division. Dig the whole thing up, chop it into sections with a sharp spade, and give it a summer haircut. Cut the stems back by half so those massive leaves don't transpire all the plant's moisture, while the newly cut roots are frantically trying to establish themselves in the soil. Replant them in rich, compost-heavy dirt, and they will form a thick, vibrant, disease-resistant clump by next year. 6. Canterbury bells. These beauties give you those perfect, romantic, cup and saucer blooms that literally look like fairies left their little teacups scattered in your garden. The seeds are incredibly tiny, almost like fine dust. To make planting easier, mix them with a handful of dry sand and simply sprinkle them over loose, well-prepped soil without burying them. One crucial detail you cannot ignore: they absolutely despise wet feet. Keep them out of low-lying, soggy areas where winter moisture collects, or their delicate roots will rot before you can even say campanula. Throw some light mulch over them for winter protection, and they will reward you with incredible texture and color all season. All right, hold on a second. Before we move on to the plants that thrive in the absolute worst conditions of your yard, let's do some quick gardening together right here. Scroll down and plant a like on this video. It takes you one click, but for the YouTube algorithm, it works better than premium root stimulator. And if you aren't subscribed yet, hit that button and ring the bell so our tips keep blooming in your feed. Done? Awesome. Let's get back to the dirt. 7. Hosta, the undisputed queen of the shade garden. If you have a dark, neglected corner under a tree where absolutely nothing else wants to grow, hostas are your ultimate lifesaver. Divide those massive, overgrown clumps in late August to get free plants. But here's the catch. You need to water them like crazy after transplanting. Those giant, beautiful leaves evaporate oceans of moisture every single day, especially if your August weather is dry and hot. Chop the root in half, dust the fresh cuts with a little wood ash to prevent rot, and plant them deeply. Placed alongside delicate ferns and bright astilbes, they create that classic, luxurious woodland look with minimal effort. 8. Astilbe. Meet the gorgeous girl with the feathery plumes who absolutely panics at the first sign of a drought. Astilbe has a very sneaky habit. Its root crown naturally grows upwards over time. Eventually, the buds get exposed, heave right out of the dirt, and the whole plant starts drying out and dying. So, dividing them in August isn't just about making more free plants. It's a literal rescue mission. Dig them up, divide them so each new piece has a couple of healthy eyes, and plant them slightly deeper than they were before, in rich, moisture-retaining soil. Slap a thick layer of mulch around the base, and they will provide incredible bright texture in your shady borders for years. 9. Daylily. This is the dictionary definition of zero-maintenance landscaping. These tough guys could probably survive a meteor strike and a month-long drought without dropping a single leaf. They develop massive root systems that take off with rocket speed when you plant them in late summer. Sometimes the older clumps get so tough and dense, you literally need a sharpened axe to split them apart. When dividing, trim the green foliage back to a neat 6-inch fan to reduce stress, and pop them in the ground. You get a bulletproof, weed-suppressing garden foundation that looks fantastic and lush even when it's not blooming. It's the ultimate plant it and forget it perennial for busy homeowners. 10. Sedum Autumn Joy. Meet the unstoppable terminator of the flower world. Is your soil too dry? It doesn't care. Terrible, rocky dirt? Bring it on. In August, you can easily divide the adult clumps or just take a quick cutting. Do you know how easy it is to root a sedum? You literally break off a stem, stick it right into some moist dirt, and congratulations, you are a master gardener. It's rooted. As a succulent, it stores water in its thick leaves, making it completely drought-proof. The best part? It holds its beautiful, heavy pink blooms straight through the autumn and into the first snow, giving your yard amazing winter interest, while everything else has completely died back and disappeared. 11. Coral Bells Heuchera. If you are completely bored of plain green leaves, Heuchera is your garden's ultimate fashion icon. Caramel, deep plum, silver, neon lime, you name it, they have it. But just like Astilbe, their woody crowns have a terrible habit of growing up and out of the ground like a weird little palm tree trunk, causing the plant to flop over and fall apart. August is the perfect time to lift this colorful drama queen out of the dirt, chop off the old woody stems, and replant her nice and deep, right up to the base of the leaves. She handles this extreme makeover perfectly. Plant them in partial shade to keep those stunning, vibrant leaf colors from fading or burning in the harsh afternoon sun. 12. Bearded iris. While peonies will go on strike if planted too shallow, irises absolutely love to sunbathe. Divide their fleshy rhizomes right now, but here is the absolute secret to success. Leave the top half of the rhizome fully exposed to the sun, baking in the dirt like a lazy turtle on a log. If you bury it completely under the soil, it will definitely rot. Before planting, give them a nice summer haircut. Trim the leaves into a neat, angled fan shape about 6 inches tall. Trim back the long, stringy roots and let them enjoy the late summer heat. They look incredibly architectural and stylish when planted along garden borders, giving your yard a very sharp, professionally designed appearance. 13. Sweet William. This is a plant designed for lazy but ambitious gardeners who want maximum impact with zero effort. It is practically indestructible. Sow the seeds directly into the garden soil right now without messing around with tiny seedling trays on your windowsill. By winter, it forms such a dense, thick green mat that pesky weeds will literally cry and move over to your neighbor's yard. Next spring, that incredibly tough green mat explodes into a vibrant, colorful carpet of patterned blooms. They look phenomenal mixed with daisies and bellflowers, giving you that relaxed, effortless meadow aesthetic that makes it look like Mother Nature did all the hard work for you while you just relaxed. 14. Pansies and violas. Don't let their cute, innocent little faces fool you. These tiny flowers are absolute Spartans built for tough weather. Sow them in a dedicated nursery bed right now. The seeds are incredibly tiny, so barely cover them with dirt, just like you were lightly dusting a donut with powdered sugar. The most critical step? Keep the soil consistently moist. If they dry out while sprouting, it's game over. By early spring, you can move these tough little rosettes to fill in any empty gaps in your flower beds, especially around fading spring bulbs like tulips. They will bloom tirelessly through the cool weather, providing a massive pop of cheerful color when the rest of the garden is completely asleep. 15. English daisy. These are the charming little floral buttons that instantly turn on the bright spring mood. If you have boring, bare soil under an old apple tree or along the edge of a brick pathway, you need to sow these right now. Put them in a nursery bed in August. Don't bury the seeds too deep, and just lightly mulch the top with some fine peat moss to hold the moisture. They germinate incredibly easily, and they transplant like an absolute dream, even if you move them when they are fully blooming. They are highly sociable plants, pairing perfectly with spring primroses to create a dense, joyful, low-growing carpet that makes you want to take off your shoes and walk barefoot through the garden. 16. Forget-me-not. Sow these in a partially shaded spot this August, and they will reward you with a stunning, ethereal blue cloud next spring. They germinate so incredibly fast, you won't even have time to walk away from the garden bed before they sprout. They survive harsh winters like a tank, and once they are established, they will happily reseed themselves for years to come. Your only job is to make sure you don't accidentally pull them up while weeding in the spring. They create the ultimate classic backdrop for bright yellow or bold red spring tulips. That sharp contrast between the bright tulips and the soft sea of blue forget-me-nots is a visual masterpiece that every gardener needs to try. Phew! All right, we just chopped, divided, and transplanted a lot of roots. And I have to give you a massive warning that will save your plants' lives. When we divide plants in August, the root system goes into severe shock. And late summer weather is tricky, baking hot during the day, but chilly at night. So, the golden rule: after you transplant a division, you must mulch it and provide some shade for the first week. Throw a plastic crate over it, use some shade cloth, or even stick an old beach umbrella next to it. Let the roots grab the soil without getting heat stroke. Now, while those guys recover in the shade, let's grab the bulbs that slept through summer but are ready to go in the ground right now. 17. Autumn Crocus, colchicum. This beautiful little bulb is the garden's greatest party trick. You plant this dormant, sleeping bulb right now in mid-August, and in literally 3 to 4 weeks, it shoots up massive, gorgeous, purple, goblet-shaped flowers right out of the bare dirt. There are no leaves at all, just pure, instant floral magic springing from the ground. Because the flowers pop up completely naked, they can look a bit lonely, so plant them poking through low ground covers like creeping thyme or periwinkle for a stunning display. Just one quick safety note: the entire plant is quite toxic, so make sure you always wear your gardening gloves when handling the bulbs and keep them away from your pets. 18. Fritillaria crown imperial. This is the absolute crown jewel of the spring flower bed. The bulbs are massive, fleshy, and extremely strange because they have a large hole right in the middle. If you plant them pointing straight up, autumn rain will pool in that hole, and the bulb will quickly rot. You must always plant them slightly on their side, ideally on a small bed of sand for drainage. As an amazing bonus, the bulbs have a slightly skunky odor that hungry deer, voles, and moles absolutely hate. This makes them fantastic biological security guards for your garden. Plant them at the back of the border to create a towering, exotic vertical accent that will completely dominate the spring landscape. 19. Daffodils. Many people assume that all spring bulbs should go into the cold ground right before the first winter freeze. That is a fatal mistake for daffodils. These guys actually need plenty of time to grow a thick, healthy beard of roots while the autumn soil is still nice and warm. Get them planted by late August or early September so they can establish themselves. And here is the best gardening hack ever. Daffodil bulbs are completely toxic, so rodents and deer won't ever touch them. Plant a tight ring of daffodils completely surrounding your expensive, tasty tulips, and they will act as an impenetrable underground fortress, protecting your entire spring display from hungry pests. 20. Crocus. Start planting your crocus corms in late August. And remember the absolute golden rule for all spring bulbs. You must plant them exactly 3 times as deep as the bulb is tall. If you plant them too shallow, hungry squirrels will easily dig them up. Don't just plant 3 or 4 lonely bulbs in a row. Plant them in tight, crowded drifts of 15 to 20 for a massive, high-impact color explosion. For a truly professional landscape design trick, scatter them directly into your lawn. By early spring, your boring grass will transform into a breathtaking, natural alpine meadow. They are the very first flowers to wake up, providing crucial early nectar for hungry bees. 21. Muscari grape hyacinth. If you want to create a dense, vibrant blue river winding through your garden beds or along your stone pathways, Muscari is your absolute best friend. But here is the secret. You have to pack them in incredibly tight. Do not plant a few solitary bulbs and expect a miracle. Cram them closely together to create a solid, breathtaking carpet of spring blue that looks completely natural. They pair flawlessly with bright yellow daffodils or early red tulips, creating a stunning visual contrast that pops on camera. The best part? They multiply incredibly fast on their own, suppress spring weeds, and require absolutely zero maintenance from you once they are in the ground. All right, everything is in the ground, but do not relax just yet. To ensure these plants don't just survive, but thrive, we lock in the 3 golden rules of late summer planting. Rule 1. Root fuel, not leaf growth. Hide the high nitrogen fertilizers right now. Nitrogen pushes out soft new leaves that the first October frost will completely destroy. Our best friends right now are phosphorus and potassium. Use bone meal or a fall-specific fertilizer. Tell the plant, stop growing leaves, build your roots, and prep for winter. Rule 2. Deep watering. Don't be fooled by a quick summer rain shower. August soil is often bone dry a few inches down. Do not just sprinkle water on top. Fill your planting holes with water and let it drain completely before you put the plant in. Give those young roots a deep reservoir of moisture. Rule 3. Mulch it heavy. September brings crazy temperature swings. Africa during the day, the Arctic at night. To keep the roots from freaking out, cover the soil with a thick layer of mulch. Bark, mature compost, or weed-free grass clippings. It acts like a perfect thermos, stabilizing the soil temp and locking in the water. And there you have it. We just proved that August isn't the finish line. It's the smartest, most strategic part of the gardening season. While everyone else is just watching their gardens fade, we just built the foundation for a spectacular spring display. Drop a comment below and tell me, which of these plants are you getting into the ground right now, and which ones are totally new to you? Stock up on seeds, take care of your beautiful gardens, and remember, smart gardening isn't about breaking your back, it's about perfect timing. See you in the next video. Bye-bye.